maybe also in the future we can talk about if you guys want an evening call as well. But we'll do this one for today.
Yeah. All right, guys. So good morning. Thank you guys for being here. Like we said, it's early in the morning, and I'm up early anyway, so this for me is normal. But I do have my coffee. I hope you guys do too. And we're going to be covering ADD obsession in its like entirety. So the whole program from start to finish. When we were in the test group, Autumn did a call like this for us the day before, and it was so helpful. So I figured I would do it for you guys too, and answer questions, because I know you guys probably have a lot of questions, right? So hopefully you brought those with you. I did make a PowerPoint because I'm a squirrel and I will forget. But for those that don't know me, my name is Bianca O'Brien, and I had the privilege of being in the coach test group when 80-Day Obsession was being filmed. My partner in crime is Dr. Stephanie Burgos. I have been talking to her about this program until I'm blue in the face, so she probably knows it better than I do. So if I forget anything, she'll make sure to remind me. And Steph, if you want to jump in at any time, just go. I tend to talk fast, and I'm going to have to talk fast because I want to keep this under an hour, and there is a lot of info. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let me see if I can pull up my PowerPoint really quick. I don't know if Kristen's on too. Kristen, are you on? She might still be sleeping. Let's see if I can open my PowerPoint. Oh, I forgot.
Are you guys excited? Are you guys super excited to start on Monday? Awesome. And for those of you who don't know me, like Bianca was saying, I am a full-time emergency medicine physician, and I've been a coach now for almost 6 years, 5.5 years. And so I'm super excited. I've built this business along while working full-time. Super, super excited for this program and to be running this with Bianca. So any questions as she kind of goes through her PowerPoint here, and I'll do my best. I have not gone through the program, and so I'm like most of you, so just kind of super pumped. I've done a little obsessed like 4 or 5 times. However many times it's been out, I've done it. And every single time I'm sore, and every single time my booty's sore. So I'm like, this program's going to be good if it's going to be 60 minutes. So
yeah, a little obsessed was challenging. So it was challenging in a different way. So if you guys are loving that, you're going to like 80-Day Obsession. In the same way. It's just a little like slower paced. 80-Day Obsession is. It's a little longer, so it's slower paced. You're not rushing through the moves. Like I felt like I was a little rushed and a little obsessed. It's just trying to cram it all in there. But it's just as challenging. It's great. So all right, I found my PowerPoint. I don't know how to make. I made it in Canva for the first time because I really like how Mel does hers, and I made mine. I don't know if there's a way to view it where it's just the PowerPoint. Is there, Mel? Is there a way?
Do you see that little, like, it looks like a screen at the bottom?
Yeah.
Like the board, it hit that and it'll make it full screen.
Can you guys see that? Is it full screen? Oh, perfect. Awesome. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here. All right. So we're going to go ahead and hopefully you guys printed out your materials just like I did. I sent mine over to Kinko's, and I had them bind it for me, and it looks really nice. I had it colored, and it cost me about $19 to do so. So I don't know if you guys did that, but it's really helpful to have everything handy. I'm one of those that likes to have a book in my hands. So I did print it all out. So I have it with you guys. So hopefully you guys printed that out. When you go on, just to make sure that you know what you're looking for. So when you go into Beachbody On Demand, when you click on your program on the right-hand side, you see a little tab that says Program Materials. And that's where you're going to find all this. And what I printed out that I found helpful was the starter guide, along with the nutrition part. Obviously, a copy of the food list, because it does differ a little bit from, the Portion Fix and 21-Day Fix and all that, all the other programs that we have. So it differs a little. So you want to make sure you have that. And then obviously you're going to have your plan, your specific plan. Don't go ahead and print out the whole thing because you will have a Bible in your hands. You can just, calculate your calorie bracket, and then we'll go over that, and then print out just your plan so you have that handy. And what was really beneficial for me when I was doing the program was the tracking sheets, and halfway through it was when I realized that I needed it. So make sure that you do it before you start, because you need to track your weights so you can, continue to make progress. For equipment, hopefully you guys I meant to have my equipment up here, but I'm sure you guys have seen it. So the bands, you do get two different sizes for the bands, and they differ because if it depends on like your body build and how your body's built. So you might have to test out with both. And as I pointed out in the test group for us and in our own challenge group, that you guys may go through more than one set of bands. So it may be a good idea to go ahead and order some more. I think I saw that Mel said that they'll have extras on Monday. We didn't have that. We just ordered on Amazon, but it was just, if Beachbody has them, these are really good quality ones. The ones that we got, the ones that I had before were not as good. So maybe ours won't, break as easily, but I did go through 3 sets of bands. And even if they don't break, as you progress, you will see that they lose a little bit of their elasticity. So they just don't work as well. So you may, like, as you go through the phases, like after phase 1, get a new set just so that you make sure that you're getting the right resistance for the exercises. The sliders, I know I'm going to have one of my moments here, Bianca moments. I found out halfway through the program that you could take the black cover off and slide it on carpet, and it is much more effective than it is if you are wearing the black cover and doing it on a tile floor. So just so you guys know, that's something that slides off, and then the smooth part you can just use with the blue part goes on carpet if you have depending on the flooring that you're using it on. A lot of the coaches that worked out in like the garages, I noticed, had little mats, little like carpet mats that they bought, little area rugs that they bought just for the slider parts. So that's an option for you if you don't have like a smooth floor that you can work with. And I do work out in my garage, so I'm going to be doing the same thing. For weights, a lot of people ask, what weights or what weight should I start with? I wish there was a good answer for that. You need a set of light, medium, and heavies to begin with. Phase 1 is a little bit easier, and you can go, with what you're used to doing now. As you progress, you will see that it will get easier, and then you're going to need a little bit heavier weights. So when I started with 8s, 12s, and 15s, 8, 12s, and 20s. Those were my beginning weights. I progressed to the point where I was buying 45s at the end of the program. But so it may be a good idea if you haven't bought them, if you're planning on still going out to get them, maybe a good idea to invest in the Bowflex ones that have adjustable weights. They are an investment. I'm not going to lie, they're not cheap, but I spent just as much throughout the program buying separate weights. And now I just had to buy a weight rack because I didn't have, a place for all my loose weights that were in the garage. So it may be a good investment, just something to consider. But you will progress. What you start with will not be what you end with. I hope, you're pushing yourself and you're progressing through the program, and then you just bump up the weights as Autumn, she'll prompt you to do that. And you will notice it too. You will notice when it's starting to get a little easier, and then you have to push yourself. So don't cheat yourself out of those results, because bumping the weights is going to make all the difference. Obviously a mat, a comfort mat, for a core mat, you can use a yoga mat if you want it, but we do spend a lot of time on the floor. There's a lot of floor moves, so you may want to invest in that. The Beachbody one is perfect. It's the little blue one. If you guys don't have that one, that mat was what I used all the time. It's perfect. So if you don't have one, you might, want to go out and get one of those, or just order one from Beachbody. And the foam roller, I bought 3 different types of foam roller. I was so sore. So you might want to invest in one of those too. I have the ones from Beachbody. I have the little blue one, the Rumbler, I think it's called. And then I have the longer one, the gray one, and then I have the smaller one. So for different body parts. So I did use my foam roller a lot, and that was really, really helpful.
Can I just hop on? Let me just say something. So the Bowflex I see. So I also have the Bowflex weights, guys, and I got them when I had an apartment, for example. And like Bianca is saying, not only you're going to want to continue to push yourself and to be increasing your weights, they are about $250, $270, depending on where you're getting them on Amazon. But really, they are the investment that you're going to want to have. And so, Valentine's Day is coming up. I was telling my cousin, don't ask for dinner, ask for these damn Bowflex weights. Like, what you need to ask for. And they feel just like regular weights. And so they range from 5 pounds to 50 pounds, and they go up 5, 7.5, 10, 12.5, 15, 17.5. and 20 and etc. So they go up. And so it's just good, like Bianca is saying, especially if you have a small apartment, a small place, you don't want to have weights all over the place, to have a really small area. They take up very, very little space. So just something to consider. And I'll talk more about weights at the end, but go ahead, keep on.
Yeah, no, definitely. I wish I had bought them because honestly, I was being cheap and I didn't buy them because I had some here. And then I ended up spending the same amount on like loose free weights, you know? So and then now the rack that costs $60. So, you know, you end up paying it anyways. Okay, so going into weight loss versus maintenance, I think this is the thing I get the most questions about. So when you start calculating your calorie brackets, it's in step 2 of your guides. You will take your whatever, you guys have seen this before. This isn't new. So you're going to, don't guess and say, well, I've always been on A, so I'm going to continue to eat on A. Don't guess it, guys, because it's different. The calorie burn is different. It's different. So don't do that. I've talked to a few people who have done that. I beg of you, don't do it. Go and do the math. And then you're going to decide based on what your goals are, right? So if you have weight to lose, then you're going to go into the weight loss formula. If you don't have weight to lose, then you're going to stay in the maintenance. So what does that even mean? Because I think every woman probably wants to lose about 5 pounds, right? Even if you have no weight to lose and everybody looks at you and say, you can't lose any more weight. We still feel like we need to lose 5 pounds. So that was me in the beginning. I had probably 5 pounds to lose when I started the program, and I went into weight loss because it just made sense. And I went into Plan A, which is what I normally eat in, and I was starving, but I felt like that was right. Like it didn't feel like, I was so determined that it was like a little hunger wasn't going to get in my way. And I cheated myself for 2 weeks. I did that. I actually competed in a jiu-jitsu competition where the girl just sat on me for 6 minutes and she won because I didn't have the strength to push her off of me. That's how weak I was. And that was my that was my moment, because I knew that something was wrong when I couldn't get that girl off of me. And that was when I started talking in the test group, and I told them what I was experiencing, and I was lightheaded, I was fog brained, and all those things. And I didn't, guys, I've been a coach for 4 years. I've done these programs for 4 years. I've been in Plan A for 4 years. And it was news to me that I could be, under eating in Plan A, but not taking into consideration that I had been doing programs for 30 minutes for the past 4 years, not taking into consideration that I wasn't lifting as heavy for 4 years. Those things changed. And then when I started eating super clean and I went into Plan A, I was, under eating. So it's possible that you might do that too. If you have between 5 to 10 pounds to lose, you can even start in Plan A. I wouldn't even bother though. This program is good for toning. You want to build muscle. You can't build muscle if you're not eating enough. And that was a big light bulb moment for me. That if you ask me what did I take away from 80 Day Obsession, was just that I was under eating, and I've been under eating for 4 years. And so once I bumped up to C, I redid my math and I was in Plan C. Once I did that, that's when I started to notice the results. Yeah, I lost weight. I lost like 9 pounds in the first 2 weeks, but it didn't look good or feel good. I didn't feel like it was, right for me. And once I went to Plan C, then my body started to change. I started to get a little booty, and then my abs started to tone, and everything just fell into place. And I did not gain weight. I still lost the 5 pounds that I wanted to lose by the end of the program. I still was where I wanted to be, and it just felt better. I actually had the energy to get through the workouts. I actually could push myself and lift the weights. I was lifting 45 pounds at the end of that program, like 90 pounds. That's what I was squatting. That's amazing. I've never done that. And I would have never done it if I was still in Plan A. So that's what I want you guys to take away from that. So if you have, less than 10 pounds to lose, consider going into the maintenance formula. If you go into Plan A, really watch out for those signs. Obviously, when you start a new program and you see, if you haven't been eating super clean, you might go through a little phase where you get headaches, you get a little fatigued. Then that's just the sugar detox that your body goes through. That's normal too. So if you decide to go into Plan A, just know that you're going to have to stick with it for a couple of weeks to really notice if it is working for you or not. So I would advise just going to Plan C. And if you don't start to see changes, if you're not, if your body's not changing, well, I wouldn't say 2 weeks, but definitely till the end of phase 1. If by the end of phase 1 you're not seeing changes, then by all means go ahead and go into like a lower plan. But give yourself the time to adjust, your body the time to adjust and to respond to what you're doing. So the great thing about this program is that it is 80 days. So you have a lot of time to adjust and learn about your body and how it responds to these things. And it will be a learning curve. You may not go into it like getting exactly what you want out of it, but be patient because it is 80 days. You're not messing it up in 2 weeks if you go into the wrong bracket. It's just that, oh, okay, well, this doesn't work so well for me. Let me adjust it a little bit and start doing it a different way. I hope that makes sense. And we'll open it up for questions if you guys have questions about that. So food list, definitely, like I said, it's a little different from the Portion Fix. A lot of people have been, and since I was in the program, it even changed. So there's a little, like a couple of things here and there that have changed. So I printed out for me too. I did follow this strictly. So if I didn't cheat in the sense that, oh, I'm going to eat something out of the food list. That was my only thing. Like I never ate anything out of the food list. And I think that made all the difference. Even though the timing might not have been perfect for me all the time because I travel. And I bet a lot of you guys work as well full time. So your timing might be off here and there. Do the best that you can. Plan ahead. Bring your food with you. Do all the stuff that you know that you need to do to make sure that you have your meals and the timing of your meals. But, if it falls off here and there, at least stick to the food list because that will make all the difference. I made a video on our page about the alcohol. So it's obviously not in the food list. So, it's not advised that you have alcohol during the 80 days. And I know that might give some of you heart palpitations. It did me, when in the beginning of the program, but because I was in the test group, it wasn't an option. So I just went out. The minute it gave me heart palpitations, I knew that it was something that I needed to do. That I was probably relying a little bit too much on the alcohol. So I said, okay, well, I'll give it up for 80 days. What's the, how hard can it be? And it was probably the hardest part of the program. It's not easy, but you know what, you guys, you're not doing this program because you want to have like half the results. You're doing it because you really want your body to change. And Autumn says that all the time. If you want something that you've never had, then you have to do something you've never done. So maybe going 80 days without alcohol would be a good thing. I'm not saying what you guys need to do. Y'all are adults, everybody knows what they need to do, but that is what's recommended. And so I'm going to reinforce it. I'm going to go without it. I did it once, I can do it twice. And it was actually a really good detoxing. My skin was the clearest it had ever been. And now I know that wine gives me breakouts, which I didn't know. I could think more clearly. I didn't have the problem of being hungover the next day and too tired from my workout. So for me, it worked. It was hard, but it was something that challenged me, and I love those. Like anything that challenges me to something that I don't think I can do, when I accomplish it, I feel really good. So it worked for me. That's what I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do again, and we'll start a support chat if you guys want to. We did that in the test group too, and it was helpful. So we can do the same here if you think it's something that's hard for you, But try it on for size. Even if you don't make it the 80 days and you make it through 50, how amazing would that be? So, just try it. You never know. You don't know what you can accomplish until you try it. And then refeed days, those were fun. So I'll touch really light on that, but not too much. But you guys see that there's a refeed. So there's a yellow list of like dirty yellows. That's how Autumn calls it. And basically you're supposed to have bad stuff. There's a whole science behind it, but the first one doesn't happen until 6 weeks into the program. It's planned and it's strategically placed right before leg day, which is our hardest workout. And that is to replace the glycogen that you have depleted your body of, so that you can push harder on leg day. It's not a cheat day. It doesn't mean you have a free for all and you can eat whatever you want. It's a day where you can have some stuff that's not, that normally wouldn't be allowed. It's fun because you get like, I don't know, I think I had like 11 yellows or something like that. You do eat a lot of it. It's something that people who do bikini competitions and bodybuilding, they do it. So I don't know anything about it. I just knew that you could eat, what was it that I liked a lot? Oh, Halo Top ice cream is what I was having because it was allowed. So I don't see it on the list though, but we were allowed it. So maybe Autumn. Well, and if you guys are in the Autumn coach test group as well, I do believe the nutritionists are on there, the dietitians. So if you ever have a question, you can always tag them. Like, don't tag Autumn, she doesn't know, but she will probably overlook it. But if you tag the dietitians, I think it's Paige Her is her name. You can always ask her in that coach test group. They were really a good asset, like a good resource to have. So, and that was good for refeed days too. So those are exciting. They're fun. You will look forward to refeeds. Okay, and meal planning, meal prepping. So I posted a picture of my phone reminders, the time reminders that went on that I use. Those are super helpful. I put the colors of the containers. And what I would do is just bulk prep a bunch of yellows for like 3 days. Like I would do a big batch of brown rice, for example, and I would use that for all my meals for 3 days. And then I would bulk prep chicken. I don't know, I'm giving you guys examples. And then those would be my reds. And then I bulked prepped, whatever, salad or something. And I did that for the entirety of the program. And I brought that stuff with me wherever I went. It helped so much. The reminders really help, especially if you're bumping yourself up to a plan that you're not used to eating in, because you will not feel hungry, because it will be hard in the beginning. Your body is not used to eating that much food. So you really will, like 2 hours come by really fast and you will not be hungry yet. So unless you have those reminders, you might forget to eat. So put those reminders on your phone, especially for the supplements too. I would forget the supplements a lot. And then if you're doing both Shakeology and the Recover, it does feel like to me, it felt like it was a lot of shakes. So I would just spread them out. Like I would have my Shakeology early in the morning and then when I worked out at night, so that I wasn't just drinking shakes back to back. But I never skipped my Shakeology. It's just helpful to not have my cravings. And then the Recover was super duper helpful. Hold on just a second. Shane, could you make sure that the girls are quiet? Because I can barely hear myself. Thank you. All right, sorry. My kids are yelling down here. So what was I saying? So the Recover was super helpful. After the workouts, I actually looked forward to it because it does restore the glycogen supplies also that you just depleted through your workouts, especially on those the days that you're like lifting a lot of weights. You're going to want those. They do help with muscle recovery. And then Recharge was like a godsend. So every leg day, if I didn't have my Recharge the next day, I couldn't walk because I really was pushing myself. So the Recharge, if you guys didn't get that, I highly recommend it. Highly, highly recommend it. It was super helpful. You're going to wish you had it. It does make a difference the next day when you drink it. And for the Recover, a lot of people ask if you could blend it, if you need to blend it or not. You don't need to blend it. You could just shake it with water and it's fine. But you could also put your fruit inside the Recover and blend it that way. And that's really good. Like the frozen cherries with the chocolate Recover was like a cherry Garcia, and it was like the most delicious thing ever. So those are my recommendations. I think I'm forgetting something here, but we'll come back to it. All right. So helpful tools, the things that Energize. Well, yeah, of course. Like you can't work out without Energize. That just, who does that? Energize is a must for sure. Yeah, no, I'm not even. And then if you guys are new to using Energize, just one thing that people tend to freak out a little bit over, it's that it does tingle and it makes you a little itchy. That's normal. It's just the beta aniline that's in there. It just that's a side effect of it. It's not harmful at all, and it's fine. There is not a whole lot of caffeine in it either. A lot of people freak out thinking there's caffeine. It's probably the equivalent to like a cup of coffee. So I still had my coffee and the Energize. That was I didn't have them together, I'd space them out, but I still had both and it was fine. So you guys will be fine. Even if you're sensitive to caffeine, you can still probably have Energize. Just don't do a full scoop. All right, so helpful tools. Lunchbox, yes, if you travel or if you work, if you have to bring food with you to work, then invest in a good lunchbox. I had several. I had a smaller one that would take with me if I was going out for errands. And then I had a medium one that I would take with me if I was gone for the day, and a really big one that I took if I was gone for 3 days. It worked. It worked really well. I had ice packs in there, and I brought my food with me wherever you go. You can probably make do and find things on the road if you decide not to do that. I know that I have a lot of flight attendants and nurses out here listening to the call. You could probably make do and find this stuff on the road, not a problem. One thing that I will recommend is the power greens, because greens are usually the hardest ones to find, and the yellows as well. So, you can always find grilled chicken anywhere, but the yellows you don't always find, and then the greens sometimes are a challenge too, especially if you fly. I had the power greens, and a scoop of that is the equivalent to a green. So I would just add that to a meal, you know what I mean? Or just do a shot, add it to water and do a shot of it and call it a day. So that's something that you might want to consider. In the beginning, I didn't even like the taste, and now I actually look forward to it. I still drink it, even though I don't, and it does give you like a nice energy boost. I actually kind of love it now. It's one of my favorite products. So you guys might want to invest in that. It's not expensive at all. It's, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? The Power Greens that we have, the Boost for Shakeology. A scoop of that is equivalent to a green. So you can invest in that. The lunchbox for sure. A cool water bottle, so you make sure that you're drinking your water throughout the day. The Hot Logic, if you've never heard of it, it's a little plug-in oven, I want to say. It has a little container. You heat up your meals in there. It doesn't matter if what the container is. It could be plastic, glass, anything you can put in there. You plug it in. It does take a little while to warm it up, maybe an hour, depending on what you have in there. But if you plug that in, it's got like a little flat heating pad on it, and it doesn't matter where you are. They even have car attachments, so you can carry that if you don't like to eat cold food. So that's a flight attendant tip for you guys, because we don't always have microwaves in our rooms. And then a travel shaker, you might want to have that. People that have the ones with the batteries that even like beat your shakes. I don't bother. I just shake. But in case you want that, those are available, and you can get one of those. For self-care, it may be wise to get a massage membership. You are going to be sore, and when you're really sore and tight, you really can't perform at your best, and you might not be in the correct form for the exercise and not getting the full benefit of it. So massages were like a regular for me. I got one once a week, and I also did cryotherapy while I was doing it once a week, because it just helps with muscle recovery. So I want you guys to start thinking about like how important this part is, and not to overlook it, because I know we talk about this stuff all the time. We talk about drinking your water, we talk about getting your sleep, but I don't think we actually, like, how many people actually do sleep for 8 hours, right? And then when I understood that, your muscle is not built in your workout, your muscle is built when you're sleeping. So if you're only sleeping 5-6 hours a night, you're not giving your body time to really, your muscles time to grow while you're sleeping. So you need to make sure that you're getting your 8 hours. It may mean going to bed a little earlier. It may mean waking up a little later. I don't know what it's going to look like for you, but for me, it did make a difference, and I did schedule my time for 8 hours. I made it like a priority, and it felt amazing. I felt great. Like, I've never felt as good as I did as I was doing this program. My skin was great. My energy level was amazing. It was just, everything was so amazing. So really, make it an experience. Make it, let me go all in and do it as it's meant to be done. And you guys will really see like how amazing it feels to be treating your body this good. I did get the massages. The Epsom baths were a must, especially after leg days. You guys are going to want those. On Amazon, they have a big bag of like lavender Epsom salt that I bought, that I had like actually on like on auto ship, because I use it so much. But it's like $15, I think, and it's big. You get a lot out of it, and it smells amazing. It's great. It's for athletes. You'll see it when you go on Amazon. It's like the top rated one. I did get those. Those were important. And then I also had magnesium oil that I sprayed on my legs. That helped a lot too. Water, of course, because it will help with the soreness. So make sure you're drinking the 2 liters of water. I actually did do this too for the first time ever, and it did help a lot. So all this stuff, make sure that you're taking care of yourself. This program is going to demand a lot of your body. You're going to be doing things that your body's not used to. You're going to be lifting things that your body's not used to. So it's going to hurt, but it's in that hurt that we change. So just make sure that you're taking care of yourself in the same manner that, you want your results, right? So make sure that you're taking care of yourself really, really well, getting your sleep, getting your massages. Just take some time for yourself every week to do this. It's going to be super important, because you want to be able to get through these workouts. You don't want to be so sore after leg day that you can't do cardio. You know what I mean? My legs hurt too much. I can't do a jump. Okay, you don't have that excuse. You have to take care of yourself. So if if you lifted, it was a heavy day, you lifted heavy, you did leg day, next day's cardio, go ahead and take your Epsom bath, and just make sure that you drink a lot of water so that you can help yourself drink your recharge, and you'll be good to go the next day. All right, for workouts, make sure you set time aside for it. Use your worksheets. I already mentioned that in the beginning. Make sure you start from the get-go. You start tracking your weights so that you know when you need to pump them up. We will have a group Zoom for those of you that are in our challenge group. This was really helpful for me when I was in the test group too. We had the workout time, so it was at noon. You know, not everybody was able to do it then, but we also had our Zoom call where we did our workouts together, and it was really helpful because we would stay after the workout a little bit for like 5 to 10 minutes and just talk about how we were feeling, and you know, if we're extra hungry, just to know that it was normal. So this was helpful for me and my accountability, because if I didn't show up, they were like, Bianca, where were you today? You know, so it was good for my accountability. So we're going to be doing the same thing. I haven't decided on a time yet. I think it's going to be early because I do my workouts really early. So, but if you guys want to start your own, you know, you can even use my links. Just let me know. But we will do that probably early in the morning. All right, for buddy, like make sure if you don't do the group Zoom, that you at least get a buddy or somebody that can help hold you accountable. It's a big group. We have 200 people in our challenge group. That's a lot of people. You'll get lost in it. You know, we want you guys to make sure that you're staying accountable, holding each other accountable and getting through the workouts. It's going to be long. It's 80 days, and we're not quite used to that anymore, right? We've been doing 21-day fix and these shorter programs, so it's going to take a while to get through it. It's important that you guys have somebody that's going to hold you accountable. So make sure you check into the group, you communicate with your coach, let them know if you're having any issues. You may not, you know, you may be finding some kind of a hurdle that you can't get through on your own. Don't stay quiet. We've all been through it. We all have our own. So make sure that you tell your coach, you know, I have this thing, you know, I have this obstacle and I can't meal prep, or I can't, you know, whatever it is. Just make sure you let your coach know. We can always work together and find a solution. Between 200 people in one challenge group, someone else is bound to have the same problem, and you guys can maybe just, you know, put your heads together and come up with a solution. Make sure you submit your progress pics to your coach. If you're my challenger, I want them on Monday. If you don't send them to me on Monday, you're going to get harassed. I want them every Monday. It's not about me showing it on social media. It's not about me anything. It's about you and you staying accountable. And we get so stuck on that scale. That's my biggest thing. People get so stuck. Oh, well, I'm going up in weight and blah, blah, blah. I don't really care about the weight. Your body's going to change in different ways. So I don't care what the scale is saying. I want to see your progress in pictures. I want you to see your progress in pictures, because the picture will never lie. So the scale will lie to you. You have that time of the month. You retain a little bit more water and you will freak out. And I don't want that to happen. So I want to make sure that you guys are submitting your progress pics, but not just for that, but also for your accountability too. Knowing that I'm going to be asking you for those, it's, you know, it will hold you accountable. So trust me. So I ask that you guys send them to me on Mondays. And then, you know, if you're a coach especially, share your progress on social media. But even if you're not a coach, do it. I encourage you guys, go ahead and post on there that you're going to be doing 80-day obsession. Even people probably don't know what it is, and it doesn't really matter that they do. It's for your accountability. When I started coaching, I didn't start to start a business. I started because I wanted to lose 65 pounds. And I posted on social media, not because I wanted people to buy a product or anything like that. I knew that if I told people that I was going to do it, that I wasn't going to chicken out, you know, and if nobody knows and you stay quiet about it, then you're more likely to, you know, something happens and you will derail. But if other people know that you're doing it, you're more likely to stay accountable. So share your progress on social media. Talk about what you're doing. You know, you lost 10 pounds. Go ahead and post that. You know, it's exciting. People like to see other people making progress, and it does encourage people. This is what we do as coaches. So, you know, even if you're not a coach, it's still cool to share that. You guys will see a benefit from it. It will inspire other people, and it will make you feel really good. Any questions? Did I do good on time? Wow, I did excellent on time.
You did.
I talked fast.
Awesome. There are some questions. Let me see. And as you guys now are coming on, now we're taking questions. So one from Nicole here that I see, Bianca, any advice on how to keep veggies fresh for the week, especially lettuce? I always struggle with this. I go to make a salad and the lettuce is wilted and gross.
Yeah, I mean, if you're using the fresh, put it in a Ziploc bag and put paper towels in there, and it will absorb the moisture, and that helps a lot. If you're traveling, especially, you can do that. That's how I do to take a lettuce on the road or spinach or anything green. If you can, just buy frozen broccoli. There's no shame in that. I bought green beans and broccoli and all that stuff, and I tossed it in the microwave. So if at any point, like if I was gone for 3 days, my husband and kids will eat Chinese and pizza for 3 days when I'm gone. So I would come home and there would be no food. And so that, just being able to reach in there and grab that frozen broccoli, throw it in the microwave was helpful before I could go shopping. So that's an idea too.
Someone was asking about almond milk. And so yes, almond milk, unsweetened almond milk is a teaspoon. So kind of keep that. There's sweetened almond milks out there as well. So unsweetened almond milk is considered a teaspoon. So just make that, just make note of that. Can anyone give an example of what food they eat at each time? Oh, so if you check into the group, we have several meal plans. If you look in the challenge group, and I'm sure in Mel's challenge group, there are examples of meal plans to follow that give you an example of what to eat exactly for the meal plan. So
Katie put like a really good one. Oh no, it was Megan. Megan Blinka put a good one in the
right. If you check the files section of our group, there are several meal plans, and as we see more, we'll post more as we kind of see more being shared around in our leader groups. But they're there, so I wouldn't necessarily go into that right now.
The Beachbody blog has amazing, their visuals. They're really incredible. They did an amazing job with that. If you guys haven't seen the Beachbody blog, go in there and look.
So so someone's asking, is it bad to have 2 shakes just to fall on them, in terms of Shakeology? I'm assuming that's what she's.
No, I don't think it's bad. It's not bad. There's nothing bad in Shakeology that would be bad for you to be overdosing on or anything like that. But I wouldn't make it a habit if you do it one day because you're in a pinch and you don't have, anything else. I've done it. I do it often actually because I'm traveling and I don't have another option. So obviously it's better to have a Shakeology than to, have a Big Mac, but I wouldn't do it on a daily basis. I wouldn't, you need your food. Shakeology is great, but it's your vitamin. Don't think of it as, it's your daily dose of dense nutrition. You guys know this.
Yes. Awesome. Someone says, what advice do you have regarding sleep for people who work 12-hour night shifts? I know the recommendation is 8 hours of sleep at night, but how do you, if you could only get 5 to 6 hours of sleep when working multiple days in a row, get results?
Yeah. So I used to do that. Do you too, right, Steph? You work?
And I think we can both speak to that. I think, you do the best you can. You do your best you can to get as many hours of sleep as you can. And the night shift is a tough shift, especially because it's abnormal. It's an abnormal circadian rhythm for your body. And so if you can get 6-7 hours, that's great, and so you just do your best you can. And there are people who get great results. I know bikini competitors who are night shift workers. So it's not that you can't, get amazing physique results, on the night shift. It just takes everything with the planning and making sure that you make time for sleep and making sure that your meals are planned. All of that really comes in handy when you are a night shift worker. And I know for me, when I was a night shift worker, and Bianca, I ate most of my meals at work. I kind of reversed everything. And so the majority of all my meals were eaten at work. And then when I came home, maybe I had something small, or I would go it would take me an hour and a half to kind of wind down, and then I can go to sleep and then wake up, at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the afternoon when I needed to wake up, depending. And then I would get my workout in right before I would go to work. That's how I did things. And then it was kind of like the majority of my eating was done at work. And so just kind of keeping that in mind. So Bianca, a lot of people one question was like, how do you know if you should be in weight loss or maintenance?
Because your body won't like that's tricky. That's why I was saying that in the beginning. I didn't recognize it because I'd been doing this for so long. I was so gung-ho about getting everything done perfectly that I overlooked the symptoms. So, because you're tired, you can't think straight anymore. Like your brain fogs. You have a hard time thinking. You're hungry. That's a really good one. I was hungry all the time. And, it's a little hunger. So I would just, drink some water and call it a day. And then what was the other symptom? You might get headaches.
You're moody and cranky.
Moody and cranky, for sure. My husband would have probably told you that one. I was super moody and cranky, for sure. So those things. But like I was saying, sometimes because you're sugar detoxing, so depending on where you were before, like if you weren't eating super clean, those can be mistaken for the same symptoms. So don't quickly jump. But if it is sugar detoxing, that will go away within 5-7 days. So if you are past 1 week into the program and you're still feeling that way, you're probably under eating.
So someone says, this is a good question that can go into more, it's more long. Someone says, if you have 5 to 10 pounds to lose, would you stay in maintenance or weight loss?
I would definitely try maintenance first.
And I would agree with her. So guys, if you have 5 to 10 pounds to lose, I absolutely think that's my opinion. I'm not sure, but my opinion is the maintenance. Just because of the length of this program and just because of again, we're all used to 21 Day Fix and Sanity Max 30. Not that they're not tough programs, but they're 30-minute programs. And we're used, these are 60-minute, Monday is 60-minute total body workout. And so you're going to want that food. And so really and I remember when Bianca was really nervous about bumping up and she was like, Stephanie, do I bump up? I'm like, eat the damn food, eat your food. I'm a big proponent of eating food because I think most women undereat. And that's what ends up happening is you undereat during the week and then you overeat over the weekend. And then you're kind of going on this endless cycle of never eating, you're never seeing results because you do really well during the week and you're chronically undereating. And then you feel really, really hungry on the weekend and you go out to eat and you enjoy, and then you negate a lot of the work that you did when you should be eating more kind of throughout the week so that you're not feeling those cravings. Someone mentioned that they're feeling hungry throughout the night. You should not. I mean, personally, that's a sign to me that you're not eating enough. Mm-hmm. If you're waking up in the middle of the night starving, that is a sign, in my opinion, that you are not eating enough. And so you should consider bumping up a category, because at no time should you be waking up hungry, fighting hunger throughout the night. Really, I believe the way that this plan works is that, yes, you should feel a little hungry, but the food that you're eating should satisfy that hunger. Would you agree, Bianca?
Yeah,
in terms of how that you should not, at the end of the, it's like, yeah, oh, it's time to eat. I feel hungry. You're going to see as you start getting used to eating,
yeah,
right. If you start getting used to eating on the time, you'll see it'll be 2-3 hours later. You're like, oh my God, I'm hungry.
Where's my food?
Where's my food? And then Bianca used to say that when I used to travel with her, because I traveled with her while she was on this program, and we went to conferences. She went to Tony Robbins. She did things while she was doing this, and she'd be like, I'm hungry. And but then she would eat and she was good. And it's like, that's the idea, is that the food should suffice, should suffice the hunger, really help you with your hunger. So just making sure that you're eating
in the beginning, if you bump up, if you've been eating an A and then you go to C, in the beginning, you're going to be like, oh, this is so much food. I can't get this in and blah, blah, blah. But your metabolism will wake up, and you will, you have to give it time. Do I have to push the food? Yeah, you kind of do, because it will wake up your metabolism, because it may be so dormant like mine, because I've been eating an A for so long. My body was so used to, that's why I could never let go of the 5 pounds. I've had the same 5 pounds to lose for 2 years. Mm-hmm. So my metabolism was so dormant. So I got this, I can do this, and I will keep right where I am, and I'm very happy. And then when I started eating more, I was like, the fat girl in me was like, I can't eat more food and not gain weight. I freaked out, and I went back and forth. I battled it. It was almost an emotional thing, right? Right, Steph? It was I can't do this. I can't eat more. No, I freaked out. I promise you guys I did. So if you're freaking out, I understand. But once I did it, once I went, just went all in, and I started doing it. And then I was like, I'm going to close my eyes and trust the process. Then I saw the changes. Then I really, and not only that, normally after I finish a program, I gain the weight back. And this is, happened to me several times. Like I will finish the 21-day fix extreme, for example, and I will look amazing. And then within 1 week, going back to the normal way of eating, I would gain the weight back. That's those 5 pounds that I'm saying for you guys. And after I finished 80 Day Obsession, I'm still here. We finished in October. I'm still here with the same results that I had when I finished the program. That's when you know your body changed. Mm-hmm. That's when you know, like, you really changed. I can overeat a little bit, overindulge. I can have my wine. I'm not following the program very strictly, but my body did not change. So that was really eye-opening for me. I'm like, okay, now my metabolism is different. Now I have a good metabolism.
I really believe. Yeah, and I really believe a lot. Yes, there are some of you, and there are going to be people who really do. You really do need to lose weight per se, but really think of it as you need to lose body fat. That is, you're diminishing your body fat, and that is different. And that's why we stress measurements and pictures and seeing how you feel and how your clothes are fitting you and how you're because at the end of the day, if you stick to the scale and you're like looking at the scale and the numbers, I just want to keep just stressing that, not looking at the scale, not looking at the numbers, because especially if you're in that, where in your head, if you've been telling yourself, I need to lose 10 pounds, I need to lose 15 pounds. If you're in that area, really what you want to do is you're looking to lose body fat. And you're looking to gain muscle, and that it's different. That's a different thing. Losing weight and losing body fat, it's a different mentality. And so making sure that you're pushing yourself, making sure that you're increasing your weights, making sure that you are eating, because like even me, my before and after is, it looks like I lost 30 pounds, but I only lost 10 pounds. But it's because, like Bianca's saying, your body changes so much and you build muscle.
Sorry, I ended up
trusting the process of this program, and trusting the amount of food that you need to eat, and trusting increasing your weights is going to be incredibly important. Someone's asking here, Bianca, so after phase 1 and a plan A, should I be bumping up to plan B to lose the extra weight?
Yes, good question.
I thought you had to use the calculation page.
You do. After each phase, you're going to recalculate. Yes, that's a good question. Thank you for asking that. Yes, definitely recalculate after each phase. You might change. I stayed in C the whole time. It didn't change, but you may change depending on, whatever weight you lose and all that stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Another thing I want to really stress to you guys is, please make sure, as you guys are going through this, is really watching your form, maintaining safety in these workouts. And really, like, especially if you are a beginner to weightlifting or you're kind of new, kind of realize that at the end of the day, we're asking you to push to do your best. And so, yes, you hear us talking a lot about the weights, but I also want to kind of encourage proper form. If you're new and you're like, I'm not used to even lifting weights, making sure maybe you do the program with light weights and maybe sometimes no weights. Like sometimes I'm doing, even with the A Little Obsessed, the leg days, the workout where you're going forward with the lunge on the slider, just to make sure that I do proper form and balance. The first time I did it with no weights, just to really get down and really get into the form. And so that's most important, in my opinion. It's just maintaining safety, maintaining proper, really getting into these lunges, these squats, really pushing yourself, because you should be feeling sore. And if you're not feeling sore, you're not pushing yourself enough. I've never had a program before where after every day I am sore. And it's because I push myself. But I know I push myself for where if I know I can go up 2.5 pounds with my Bowflex and I go up and I push myself. I keep encouraging and I keep maintaining form. So if you're not feeling sore, you're not pushing yourself enough. And if you're afraid of the soreness, suck it up, because you need the sore. It shows that, you like Bianca's saying, the massages, the Epsom salts, the drinking water, the supplements. There's a reason why we're stressing all of this to you, because if you want to change your body, these are the things you're going to need to, you really need to focus on.
It's like the water. It's like the water. When you tell people to drink more water, they're like, "Well, I don't like drinking a lot of water because then I go to the bathroom all the time." You're supposed to go to the bathroom all the time, and it's the same thing with the soreness. I'm not gonna lift heavy because I don't want to be sore. Come on, you guys. You're gonna be sore for 80 days. The quicker you embrace this, the better off you're gonna be. Like you're gonna be sore. You're supposed to be sore. It's normal, and it's gonna hurt. Yeah, it's gonna hurt, but it's also gonna change. Isn't that what everybody wants? Like you want a toned body, right? You're gonna get it. You just have to trust the process. I gained so much more respect after being in the test group because I realized how much work and they put behind these, like making these for us. This is amazing stuff. Like you get this, you have to pay thousands of dollars to get this kind of direction, meal plans and, workouts. And if you were on your own doing this at a gym, you would be paying a whole lot of money. Even the supplements alone, amazing. So they put a lot of work behind this. You guys as coaches and as customers, you pay the money. Now just close your eyes, trust the process and follow it like it should. Don't try to change it and adapt. Well, I know what's best for me. I'm sure you do. You do know what's best for you. But you won't know what your body will do or how it will respond unless you try it. So if you try it and it for sure does not work, then by all means adjust it to make it work for you. But try it, like at least go all in thinking I'm going to try it as it. I also thought that I couldn't do it. I thought a lot of things about it. I'm like, there's no way, my life is not going to work. I travel, this is not, but I did it. You know what I mean? And was it perfect? No, but I did the best I could and I got awesome results. And I promise you, if you go in with the same mentality, you will also get amazing results. That's what we're here for. It's going to be springtime and we're going to be looking. Have you guys thought about this? Like, have you envisioned what's going to happen at the end of this? Think about it. It's the toned abs that I thought, like I literally went to a doctor because I thought that I was never going to get rid of my mom pooch, because there was no more crunches I could do. There was no more plans. I cut out dairy. I did everything and there was nothing that gave me the results that 80-Day Obsession did. So I want you guys to really envision what's going to happen here if you go all in, right? Because I really did get abs. I had abs that they told me I would have to get surgery for, and I did not get surgery, and I did it. So the same belief that I have in it, and I know that if you guys do it, you're going to get amazing results too. So you envision it, embrace it, go knowing that it's going to be hard, go in knowing that it's going to be hard, but that also go in knowing that you can do it. You can do hard things. I know that you guys can do this.
And just reiterating, the weights will not make you heavy. Increasing heavier weights will not make you heavy, and they will not bulk you up and make you bigger. These are all myths that people think about weight training, especially women when it comes to weight training. And so again, I advocate for increasing your weights and at a safe pace, but pushing yourself, but not being afraid of the weights, because I'm telling you, a lot of the results that you want are going to come from weight training. The booty, the thighs, the toning, the arms, the abs, it's the metabolism, it's going to come from weight training. And the change in your body that you want to see is going to come from weight training. And when and I also, what I love about weight training too, and building the muscle is, like Bianca was saying, you may not have heard it or kind of caught on to it, but she's like, I've changed my body. My body's changed. My metabolism changed. I've had little splurges here and there, and my body stays the same. That's the beauty about having muscle on your body, guys, especially women, especially if you're an older woman. As women get older, we need more muscle. It helps with our metabolism. It helps with being able to maintain a healthy weight. But it really, when you have those, how many of you, when you go out, you see those large fluctuations in weight if you overeat? You go on, you overeat and you see those large 5-pound gains, because, I know you're going out to eat and the next day you're stepping on the scale, which I don't know why you do that either. But you're going out to eat, the next day you step on the scale and you're up 7 pounds, 5 pounds, and you're like, oh my God, and you beat yourself up and you have the guilt. But those large fluctuations, it's the water weight. And that's saying also to me that you have a large body fat percentage. And so that's saying to me that if you diminish your body fat and you focus on muscle building, like what this program is going to do for you, you're going to start seeing less of that fluctuation. That's one of the things I've loved the most, because I'm a huge foodie. I love, love, love to eat. Like, people who know me, they know that about me. And being able to eat out and being able to now enjoy while also lifting weights and maintaining my weight I am not seeing those fluctuations like I used to when I was heavier, if that makes sense, or more body fat, if that makes sense. So that's another reason and another proponent to I'm pushing the weights on you guys, because again, I feel a lot of women are resistant to it and resistant to increasing their weights.
Rachel, to answer your question, that's beyond my expertise. Really, I would ask in the test group. I would ask Autumn about that. I mean, to me, it would look fine. That's how I would see it, but I'm not. It's beyond my expertise. I wouldn't. I would definitely ask Autumn about it. She would be able to tell you for sure. And then the other thing that I was going to say really quick before we finish, because we're like right at 9:30. There is a book. For those of you that love to read and love your PT, there's a book written by Tom Venuto that's called Burn the Fat, Feed the Muscle. And it goes right, if you guys have never read it, it's like, it was eye-opening for me. And I read it right before 80 Day Obsession, which helped a lot. But I've been recommending it to everybody. So it really goes into the science of building muscle and burning the fat and all that stuff. And you'll see, he will mention in it everything we're doing. So that's why I say, this stuff, we pay a lot of money for this stuff if we weren't coaches and if we didn't have Beachbody in our lives. It's called Tom Venuto, Venutto. Burn the Fat, Feed the Muscle. It's amazing. It's a really good book, and you can get it on audio. It's a pleasant listen. You guys will be like eye-opening. All the stuff that you do that you're like, oh wow, I never knew that I wasn't supposed to do that. It's really good. So I really encourage it. It's something new. You can count it as PD. To the spring and summer. Oh, great. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm super excited for you guys. As I was going through the program, all I kept thinking was, oh my God, I can't wait till people get to do this. And I actually have access to the program still. And I started doing round 2 and I was like, I want to do it with my people. I want to do it with coaches and challengers alike. I want to go in this journey with you guys. It really is a journey. It really is. And it's one of self-discovery. It's one that you're going to learn about all the things that you didn't think you could do and how amazing and disciplined you can be when you really set your mind to it. And I mean, for coaches, for us, it's our business, guys. It's our business. Go all in. Go in with the mentality. I'm going to take the pictures and I'm going to, I like how Megan Blinka put it, obnoxiously share it. Share it a lot. Every Monday when I was doing 80 Day Obsession, I was posting a transformation picture. I took my progress pictures for the test group and I would post them. And sometimes there wouldn't even be a change that you could see. And I think people even commented on, hey, I don't see a change. I'm like, okay, you don't see a change, but I'm posting it anyways because I said I was going to post it every Monday. And so I did. Throughout the 80 days, every Monday, I held myself accountable. Just knowing that I had to post that picture made me push a little harder, because I wanted there to be change. And so it made me stick with the program also much more. And did my business grow? Heck yeah. Our team went premier for the first time since we've been trying for 3 years because of 80 Day Obsession. Because a lot of people followed my journey. They got excited about it. And when it came out, people were ready to order it and get in on it. And we have a group full of people, 200 people inside of our challenge group. How amazing is that? So that will do the same for your business. It's not just because you weren't in the test group. That doesn't mean that you can't get an amazing transformation. That doesn't mean that Autumn won't pull your picture from the test group and post it in her Instagram like she did mine. You know what I mean? She will do that. So if you go all in and say, I'm going to get a great transformation, I'm going to follow it as it should, I'm going to trust the process. If you go all in with that and share it obnoxiously, I promise you it will translate into your business as well. And that's it. Does anybody have any book purchase? Oh yeah, you'll like it, Meg. It's really good. Really, really good. All right, guys, so it is 9:30. Thank you so much for coming. I'm going to stop the